Race number 4 then, the fourth on the programme. This is the first leg of the triple trio, 1,400 metres here. We're still on the turf, headed by Beauty Loyal, who's beaten favourite last time out behind Great Treasure. Well beaten as well, nearly 13 lengths. Home Run, back in class, a two-time winner in this grade. Gracious Rider, a course and distance winner, 2 starts back. Leading Fortune makes his debut, a 3-year-old by Siuni for John Size Joe Moreira. Wide gates for him. Shamport, Barrier 5, Zach Purton. Hurricane Hunter up in class, last start winner in Class 5. And down to Vital Spring, gets ever closer to a class drop. He gets Barrier 4 and Karis Teton in the saddle. Now, as far as Chung Fro is concerned, the Creative and Shamports have been up in the last month.
All right, speed here for race number 4 should be slow, you would think. Perhaps Shamport can take the lead. The other potential front runner might be Vital Spring, who's drawn wide and often races forward. Outside of that, there's not a lot of noted sort of on-speed horses, so is there a surprise packet perhaps from some of the other runners? We'll have to wait and see, but on face value, doesn't look like there'll be too much speeding early.
I thought this run from My Power, his last start, was probably the best he's had. He's come out of that, and his track work in the morning suggests he's going better, so maybe he's learned a little bit. He's had the 8 starts now. Matthew Poon aboard him this day, and he will ride him on race day. You can see the horse does stretch out nicely enough. Quite keen here was morning track work. Hurricane Hunter, he's a recent winner, this horse, and he hasn't taken a backward step either. Derek Long's aboard for this particular piece. He is up in grade, but it was a nice enough win there last time. And you can see him going nicely there, this particular piece. The other one, Vital Spring. He's quite a well-rated horse. Barrier 4, you know he's going to be near the pace, so I think he'll get his opportunity as well. And he's a very fit horse. I think this is the trickiest race of the day, actually, and the betting shows that at a 5.4 favourite.
All right, well, let's start off with Beauty Loyal, who was favourites last time out, with excuses when beaten. So we'll go back 2 starts when he ran Monica 3/4 of the length here over the 1,400. Yeah,
well, he had a few indiscretions at his last start. He was checked a number of times and he never really settled in the run. So clear excuses. Prior to that, his form was solid behind Monica and Ultimate Glory. And he's got another ideal opportunity here from another good barrier.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the chances, if he behaves himself. That's the question, isn't he? Because he did play up at the start there last time, and he didn't have any luck after that. He got checked a few times. Interesting, Zach Purton rode him there, but he's riding Shamport.
Who is possible leader, Shamport, as well, according to the speed map. Next one we'll have a look at Gracious Rider. Vital Spring engaged here, along with Medic Dragon, but Gracious Rider got closest.
Yeah, I tipped him a few times, actually made him best bet at the Valley not that long ago, and then after he was disappointing, I dropped off. Since then, he's come out and won and run second. He's always been a difficult horse to follow with any confidence, but he has put 2 good runs together, so I'm not suggesting he can't run another decent one. Medic Dragon's done very little, but he has the blinkers added for the first time, but they will need to improve him a lot.
Yeah, I've got Gracious Rider, and I've also I put in Vital Spring because he comes in with a light weight. He's on a rating of 41, which is quite low, but he has one of 43 off this sort of low weighting.
He'll roll forward too, and he can find the line okay from out there.
All right, well, speaking of rolling forward, Shamport, is this his opportunity to dictate from the front and get his first win here in Hong Kong?
Well, Paul and I are both reluctant to talk too much about this horse because he's been very disappointing. I think he's actually quite weak. This is a fairly average Class 4, so potentially he does get an opportunity. Zach Purton aboard, good barrier, so he'll have his people, he'll have his supporters, but I'm not one of them.
Yeah, he'll definitely get his chance once again, especially from barrier 5. He might have to take unders with Zach on. I'm happy to watch him go.
All right, last one is Leading Fortune. Debutante here, a 3-year-old. Does get the wide gate barrier 14, but sometimes not a disadvantage to a first starter, so he's not going to get crowded anyway.
No, he's missed the start in a couple of those 2 trials he's had as well. He's 1,090 pounds. He'll get back. I keep an eye on him. I think he'll be running on, but he's only a 3-year-old. He might be just there for, getting a bit more experience.
Yeah, you can see pushed on a fair bit by Joe there out wide. He looks like he'd run 2 laps by the looks of the way his action is there on the dirt. It's not a strong race. John Size, Joe Moreira, you can't underestimate them, but I haven't got him in, but I'll be watching the market and interested in Jenny's report.
He's 12 at the moment, so he's not a huge price, but as you said, Paul, it's pretty open. Home Run the favourite.
Yeah, I've gone with the one that's quite well rated, which is down the bottom, which is Vital Spring. He's one of 43. He's 41 now, and he's always there or thereabouts. Gracious Rider's a hard horse to catch. Home Run. Look, he's only had a 2-time winner from his 40 starts, but another one with numerous placings. And My Power, just on the back of his track work in his last run, I thought he deserved to go in for exotics. 14, 4, 2, 5. I think 14 might come a good each way price.
I'm going to shop for value as well here, Paul. I'm actually going to stick with Hurricane Hunter, who did the right thing by me last start, and I think back up in grade, even though he hasn't won from 17 attempts, he can run a race. This is a very mediocre Class 4. I actually tipped him earlier on in the season when he won in Class 5 and then went into Class 4 as a horse that could potentially win again. It didn't happen, but I'll throw it out there one more time and go with him as a value runner over Beauty Loyal, Vital Spring, and General Trump's another one I think might run a better race as opposed to his last start, because he was a bit awkward out of the gates and he's drawn well there. So the 10 and 12 are the value runners for me. I think the 1 and 14 will be in the market to some extent.
Yeah, first leg of the triple trio. You'll do very well to get this with 3 numbers. I think it looks very, very tough indeed. But good luck if you have any. That's race number 4. All right, race number 5 then will be the first leg of the 6. We'll look at that right after this.